Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are located in the country today. If you guys would go ahead and take a second and send out any reminders of Power Hour to anyone who may need a reminder this morning. We're going to cover some really good summit information, go over the schedule, talk about a few things. I'm going to tell a few stories in regards to summit and my experiences. So it'll be a good one. I don't know how long it'll be, honestly. So we'll just get started here and see where it takes us. So send out a reminder really quickly here of anybody that may need to hop on and hear what we have going on today. I'm outside again. It's another pretty day. A little more humid today than it was the other day. What's weather like where you guys are at? I don't know what the actual temperature is. It says it's 83 with a high of 87 for the day, but it was beautiful the other day. It's a little bit more humid. Hot and humid, yeah. Uh, 87, sunny, kind of humid. Yeah, it is still so pretty. Like, we've got a nice little breeze that kicks up every once in a while. So it is really nice. All right, I'm sending out my final reminders here. I just want as many people as possible to hear some of the stuff I'm going to cover today. So who all is heading to Summit that's on here? I know we've asked that several times. Yeah, me. Cool. Has anybody packed? I don't know if you guys saw my picture, but I am actually packed other than like my obviously toiletries and any bras or anything that I may be using prior to Summit. So I got really excited yesterday. Darren was like, "You're ridiculous. Like, why are you packing?" Because I tried on everything. I labeled everything by outfit and day and what I'm wearing each time. And he was like, we're not leaving until Wednesday. And it's not like we're taking off super early Wednesday. We're going to see the kids off to their first day of school on Wednesday. And then it's only about a 3-hour drive for us to get to St. Louis. So he's like, you have time. I don't know why you're packing. And I don't know. It just makes me feel like calm to pack and do that. So I wanted to go over a little bit of that too. So this is good for any kind of convention you have going on. I know for me, if the less that I have to stress, worry, think about stuff, the better. And I am a huge overpacker. So when we went to Costa Rica, I don't know how many of you guys have heard this story, but we flew with Alicia and Steve Williams, and we were in Costa Rica for 6 days, I believe. And we get to the airport, and Darren and I have never, no matter where we're going, have never been people that can condense everything into one suitcase anyway. So we always pay whatever it is, the extra, to do 2 suitcases. And I have lots of shoes. I have to have a different shoe for every out. I mean, it's like ridiculous. So And he has his stuff too. Don't let him fool you. Like if we go places that aren't warm, he's got to have like 3 different pairs of his boots and they got to match. And he's just as bad as I am. So we've never been people that can really condense down into one bag. So we each had our bags and we get there and his bag is like 5 pounds overweight for Costa Rica, which is like, why? I mean, it's a dude in Costa Rica. You should have like swim trunks and flip-flops, you know? But his bag was 5 pounds overweight. My bag was 9 pounds overweight. And so we had to go buy another bag, put all that other crap in it. So we had 3 bags. And I get to Costa Rica. I like to unpack my stuff if we're going to be there for a little while. And so I'm like unpacking all my things. And I go to unpack my clothes and I realize I was 9 pounds overweight and I don't have any shirts. I didn't bring any shirts. No shirts. 0 shirts to Costa Rica with me. And I was like, how does this even happen? But what I did have was like the 30-ounce bottles of purple shampoo for my hair and my crystal perfumes and like all these super, super heavy things, but no shirts. So from that experience, I've gotten a whole lot better at packing and some tips and so forth. And so now, instead of sort of just throwing everything in there and hoping that I have what I need, I like to take some time, 2 or 3 days before wherever I'm headed, and plan everything out. And I like to be organized in my business, but if any of you guys know me, like in my actual real life, I'm really not all that organized. My house is kind of a disaster all the time. My brain's kind of a disaster all the time. But I like to, in as many areas as I can, simplify and have a little bit of peace of mind. And so just a few tips on that for you guys. What I will do is I will pull out everything I like and I'll make my house even more of a disaster for a few hours. And I'll pull out everything I've bought, dresses, business casual type stuff. In the evenings, I like to take friends and or my business partners to dinner or go meet them somewhere. Or maybe we'll go grab a drink somewhere. So I need an evening thing, and then I need pajamas, and I need all of these different outfits. So in one day, it's not unusual for me to like change clothes like 3 times. So I will take everything out and I'll throw it in a big pile and then I'll just start trying on. I'll sort through things. I'll try things on. I would really like to get to an organizational level where I can like pick out the jewelry that I want to wear with stuff, but I'm just not there yet. But what I will do is lay it all out, try it all on, say I'm there for 5 days. I like these 5 outfits, and then I take sticky notes, little Post-it notes, and I will write on there. So for this event, this is going to be a super, super busy one for me. So when we get there on Wednesday, but Thursday starts everything getting really crazy busy. So Thursday, we have a 5-star meeting. Then we have the Peak Experience cocktail hour, and then we go straight into the VIP dinner. So it's like boom, 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 boom. So I took everything I had and I said, I'm not going to have time in between to go change, do makeup, do hair. So I had to pick out an outfit that was going to be appropriate for all 3 of those things. So I labeled that day Thursday and the events I'm going to be wearing those things too. And then for Friday, I labeled that outfit Thursday daytime meeting, and then Friday daytime meeting, Friday whatever the thing is. I think that's the gala. So I've got my dress labeled. I mean, I have everything with Post-it notes on it with the event that I'm wearing it to, so that when I go to unpack my bags, everything has Post-it notes. I can hang them up in order. Everything is there and ready. When I did this, I also put the shoes with them. So everything is all together. And it may seem a little crazy, but I'm going to tell you guys it's going to save you so much time, so much headache. When you actually get to the event, you're going to know exactly what you grab out of there and put on. And it's going to make you just mentally feel like that's done. I don't have to think about it. It's out of my way. So those are some tips, a little bit on packing as far as packing outfits for the event and having that all mentally out of your way and prepared for. So that's a little bit of pre-packing. Next, I'm going to go over the schedule a little bit, talk a little bit about conduct, expectations, what to actually wear, to all of this stuff. So let me pull up this really fast and go over this. I don't know how many of you guys have got to see the final schedule is out for what we're doing. So I do want to go ahead and cover some of that. If you hit the 3 and 4 tier for Summit, meaning you participated in the contest and you completed the tiers, your guys' massages are going to be Wednesday. I'm sure you guys know that. I've got that all worked out. That'll be so great for you guys. I'm so glad that they picked Wednesday for that. It'll sort of like you get to go in and you're going to get relaxed and massaged and ready to go for the whole rest of the week. So that's going to be incredible for anybody that hit that. And then there's also going to be a scavenger hunt in downtown St. Louis. I actually know nothing of this. I didn't know that this was happening until they put it on the final schedule. So that should be fun for any of you guys that are coming in a little bit early. I don't know that I'll make it here in time for that, just depending on how long it takes us to actually get out the door. But since I am packed, hopefully it won't take us nearly as long. However, my husband is not being as smart as I am, and he's not packed. And like I said, he's just as bad as me. So we may be packing him on Wednesday. So then Thursday actually starts, I would say, probably the quote-unquote official events for Summit. There's registration beginning at noon on Thursday. What registration is going to consist of is you're going to show up. Whatever name is on your ticket is what you're going to give them. Usually they'll give you a lanyard. The lanyard will have your name, your rank, and a little goodie bag normally. The goodie bag is usually some sort of backpack with a pen and a piece of paper for you to take notes over the course of the week, something along those lines. I don't really know what to expect. Maybe they'll have some more surprises for us in there. But if you are a late ticket person where you didn't get registered by, I believe it was June 28th, I believe, if I'm not wrong there. If you missed that deadline and your ticket says another name, just remember that your ticket, when you go to pick it up, may be in your sponsor's name. It may be in Sideline's name, whomever you got the ticket from. You may have to give them that name at registration. So just keep that in mind and don't freak out about that. It's very common. They knew that this was going to happen when they turned the deadline off. So just be aware. The thing that you can do normally is they will either have some blank name cards that go in the lanyards that you can put your name, write your name and date on, or I'm sorry, name and rank on, or you can just flip your card over and write it on the back there. So we like to wear those cards around with names so that people know who we are. Hubby's packet, if he doesn't, yeah, absolutely. You can pick up hubby's or a teammate's packet if they're not going to make it to registration. I know I had a girl that was going to miss a whole day of, I think, one of the last Summit, and I just picked up her packet and I just explained she's going to miss it. You guys are closing registration. Can I just pick it up? My ESR helped me with that. If you don't have an ESR, I'm sure you can just explain the situation to them. But yeah, absolutely. It's your husband. I pick up Darren's packet every year because he's really social and usually he's off jabberboxing to somebody while I'm like trying to do important things. So I always pick it up. So picking up packets for people should not be an issue. Especially if it's a significant other. At that point, the swag or the product store opens from 4 to 6. Obviously, no new products will be in there, but normally what they've done in the most recent Summit time is allow you to test things. So there may be heart and hydration in there that you can sample. All kinds of fun stuff, but they also mentioned that there will be Summit exclusive swag available, which is always exciting. I know that we now have the leggings available in the back office, but those started out as a Summit exclusive swag. Anybody that's seen the blue pair of sunglasses or maybe owns them, those were like Summit exclusive swag. So there will be new items in there for Summit swag. So always super excited. They always pick like the comfiest, like t-shirts, and I love all of my TrueVision stuff that I've ever received swag wise. So that is Thursday from 4 to 6. And then if you are doing the peak experience for anybody that may have won that or had a team member win that, that is also on Thursday, I believe from 5 to 6 is the time on that. And obviously we'll make sure everybody that won gets that information out. But that is your special honored time. Cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, all of the global leadership will be there, so you have a chance to meet us, hang out with us, ask us any questions. So make sure that if you guys don't know about that or didn't participate and are going to Summit next year, that you watch for the announcement of that. It's going to be a really, really cool event for them. They're going to have their own custom special swag that we've created for them. So it's going to be really cool. And then from 7 to 9 is the VIP dinner in the Crystal Ballroom. So your special dinner for the Tier 2 winners is Thursday from 7 to 9. That is labeled as business casual. So I'm going to cover all of these various, what they have down is what is appropriate for that. So when it comes to the actual conferences itself, I believe those are labeled as business casual, but I want you guys to know you're going to see all of it. You're going to see everything from, I don't know that I've ever seen anybody in sweatpants. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't recall ever seeing anybody in sweatpants. But you certainly will see people in jeans and t-shirts. You will see people in pantsuits. You will see people in khakis and a button-up shirt. You will see people in a tie. You will see people. You are going to see it all across the board. When it comes to the meetings, what I will tell you guys is wear what makes you comfortable. But comfortable but professional. If that means jeans and a nice shirt, then that is totally acceptable. If you're comfortable in a suit jacket and khakis, then wear that. If you like if a sundress is what makes you feel good, then wear that. But wear what makes you comfortable. But I will tell you guys, in some of these other events, like the VIP tiered thing, just be conscious. That means that you are the very important guests of that thing. Show up in something that's nice. You know, it doesn't have to be expensive or whatever it is, but show up and look professional and be ready to be honored during that meal. That's what it's meant for. So just be conscious of that. So that is Thursday. That wraps up all of Thursday's events. Then Friday is, let's see here. Friday is another registration time from 8 to 8:45, and then the doors will open to get in and get your seats in the room at 8:45 to 9. And then we will begin at 9 o'clock. At that point, we will do whatever they've got on the schedule here, speakers, maybe do product launches. That's when all that stuff happens. But there are breakout sessions that happen if this interests any of you guys, and I'm not sure how this is going to work. So I don't know if it'll just kind of be all open sessions, or it'll be we'll break a little bit early and you can go to these sessions. But at 11:30 starts a fitness and nutrition, that's hard to say, session from 11:30 to noon. Then from noon to 12:30 is another breakout session on Instagram. And then from 12:30 to 1 is back office and direct scale session. So like I said, I'm not sure exactly how all of that will work. If you kind of you go on your own instead of going to a lunch, or I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm sure they'll give us details. So something just to be thinking of if fitness, nutrition, Instagram, or learning more about the back office interests you, there are those sessions going to go on. I think that is happening essentially sort of in the background. So I don't know how that's going to work, but Then from 1:45 to 2, the doors reopen. So during those same time periods is when we'll have a lunch break there, and session 2 will start. At that point, it does mention on here, if you plan to do the 10K pledge, to wear attire that is appropriate for that walking session. So, you know, maybe if you're doing the 10K pledge, go in your business casual, jeans, dress, whatever is comfortable for you. To the first session at lunch, go change and go grab tennis shoes, whatever, so that you can do your 10K pledge with them, because there isn't a whole lot of time to do that. So I'm assuming they're going to want to flip as quickly as possible and go do the pledge tour. So from 3:30 to 5:30 will be that walk. I'm assuming it will be around downtown St. Louis. That's typically how they like to do those. And then from 5:30 to 7, there's a break. That's your time then to go get ready for Recognition Gala. That is considered a formal, semi-formal, etc. event. They have on here formal attire. Now, if you want to get technical, formal attire means gowns and tuxes. However, do not break the bank on this. You will be more than dressed appropriately if your significant other has a button-up shirt and some dress pants. You will be more than appropriate if you're if a dress suit is comfortable for you versus a gown. That's fine. If you're in a gown, you'll see those as well. I'm actually re-wearing a dress that I wore to Night with the Stars 2 years ago. So it was a masquerade ball theme. It's totally appropriate. I'm just re-wearing. Don't break the bank on this. Don't stress about this. You will, again, see it all. In fact, sometimes I have seen some of our ownership in like jeans at this event. And I'm like, the invitation says formal. I'm very confused. So you will see it all. Don't let any of this stress you out. It is fun to dress up. So you will see everything across the board on that. But don't feel like when you see formal, don't feel like you have to go out and buy a ball gown and a tuxedo to fit in. So let me see, I've lost my place. That will wrap up Friday, I'm sorry. Dinner will be served during that time. So while you have an hour and a half break there to get ready, and then at 7 p.m. we will begin that gala. There will be food there, but that's not like the big party night. This usually is just eating, and then literally we're running through recognition because there will be tons and tons to do. So people that have hit a new rank will get called up on stage. You'll get a little placard, and it's super fun. You get to see your teammates and your downline and upline and all that stuff recognized and get their picture taken, and everybody looks really nice, and it's fun. If you are in Stacy's downline, just keep in mind she has gifted and is paying for her downline to receive a headshot while you're all dressed up and looking beautiful for this event. So keep your eyes peeled for the announcement of where that will be, so you can get your picture taken really quick and go from there. So let's see here. Saturday, sorry, I lost my spot. Saturday, we will do, the doors open at 8:45. Again, 9 o'clock starts the first session of that day and the third session overall with Molly Bloom, who is going to be our guest speaker. She's going to be talking about branding and how she built a brand that was enough for people to follow her and so forth. So we will do that from 9 to 11. From 11 to 2 is a break with the product store being open, and that is where the meet and greet will take place. So if you got the meet and greet extra package and wristband, then that will be during that time, during the lunch break. From 11:15 to 12:15 actually is where that session is. At 1:45 to 2, the doors will open and session 4 will begin at 2. It doesn't say what that is going to be about, so I'm kind of excited to see what is going to come from the last session of Summit. That will be really awesome. And then you get another break from 4 to 7 for product store, dinner, getting dressed and ready, and the final event, like the kick or the wrapping it up grand finale, will be casino night. It's casual. Some people are gonna do Great Gatsby 1920s. Some people are doing like gangster themes. My team is just gonna wear a team T-shirt. So hors d'oeuvres are gonna be served at casino night. So if you are going to be hungry, make sure that you make time to eat in there, because it's not going to be a full meal this time. But what you can expect from that is it's going to be really fun. That's the wrap up of the whole week. Everybody kind of lets their hair down. There's usually a band there, a bar available, so you can grab a cocktail, go dance with your friends. It's really, really fun. So something to look forward to there. And then what we will do for you guys the next week, so everybody will probably be traveling home on Sunday, but Monday the global leaders will all be together on Power Hour, and what we'll talk about is the new products. Whatever are coming, we're going to give you guys some tips, tricks, ideas, advice on marketing, those things, any Q&A type things about the new products. We'll go over all of that, sort of like a Summit wrap up, rewind, and prepare you guys for the launch at that point on Monday. So just keep your eyes peeled for that announcement. So to close this out, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about some of my experiences from Summit. I have been with True Vision since 2015, and 2015 is also when they did their very first ever Summit. So I have actually attended, to my knowledge that I can think of, every single summit, and I think every single Ascent that we've ever had. So I have been to a few conferences. I have been to a few events. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about each of those. The very first summit is the one I want to talk about in particular. And that was a huge turning point for me in my business. I started in May, the end of May of 2015, and Summit was in September. My husband and I got married August 14th in between there. And at that time in my life, in our lives, we were so broke. It was like we were going for broke. Like, it was bad. We were really struggling, and I was so obsessed with this business. You know, I joke around that I've been married to my business longer than I've been married to my husband, so it's kind of important to me, and that's true. Like, basically, Darren doesn't even remember a time before True Vision, because it was like we started dating, I joined the company, we got married, and it was like it's been our whole life. But we got married in August, and I was just obsessed with this company. I was so excited. I was so on fire. I friended every single upline. I friended every single leader I could find. I joined as many pages, groups. I wanted all the info. And when I say I was obsessed, it's not an exaggeration. I was obsessed. Like, I couldn't handle it. I was so excited. And so I joined everything. I wanted to know everything about the company, about the owners, about the products. And so I started stalking like everybody that was in the company at that time, like a crazy person. Like, I wanted to know like their dog's name. I was that obsessed with them, because when I met them, I knew I'd be going to Summit. When I met them in September, I wanted something to talk to them about. And so I was just this crazy person. And so Darren and I had a courthouse wedding, and we decided rather than honeymoon that we would do Summit. So we skipped a honeymoon entirely in order to get ourselves to Summit. And it was in New Orleans that year. It was the very first one ever. And so we thought, well, that'll be fun. We'll make that our honeymoon and business trip. So we drove all the way down there because we couldn't afford to fly, obviously. We didn't stay on site. We stayed at some cheapy hotel that was really sketchy because we couldn't afford to stay at the hotel that they had it at that year. We didn't want to, this is like how bad it was. It was so hot. It was New Orleans in September, and it's so hot down there, like so humid. And we didn't want to like pay for transportation, and we were like really far away from the hotel. So we would get up at like 7 a.m. to walk to the hotel just because it was so humid that if we got up and walked at like a reasonable time to get there, we'd be like totally drenched in sweat. So we were there like 2 hours early every day just so that we didn't have to be out in the heat. Like it was a hot mess, okay? But that's how excited I was, and that's how eager I was about the business. And so when I met my uplines for the very first time, when I met my sidelines, when I met these people that I had in my head idolized for months at this point, from May to September, I felt like I was standing amongst like celebrity. I felt like I was standing amongst really incredible, really powerful people. And I was so excited and I was so honored. And when we clicked and we hit it off, and when they were so welcoming, it made all the difference in the world. These are people that I talked to so much from behind a computer screen, but now they were standing right in front of me, and I was blown away. And I was so very, very excited. We did some of the pre stuff, like the registration and all those things. I got to meet these people. We spent some time. We went down to Bourbon Street. We had some fun together. And then it was time for the conference to start. And my upline, who, like I said, she had sort of like took me under her wing. We've been talking constantly about everything, life, and gotten to know each other. And I just felt like we were truly a family. Invited me and Darren to sit up towards the front with the rest of the leadership. Now, at this time, you guys have to understand, I was like a nobody, and at least I felt like a nobody. I was just a senior associate. I didn't know what I was doing. I'd never done a company like this. I was 23 years old. Like, I didn't know anything. And all I knew is that I was ignorance on fire, and I felt so happy and honored to be in the presence of those people and to be where I was. And so when they asked me to sit up the front, I was so excited. And you guys have to give you a little background. Speaking that year was Elizabeth Smart. And I don't know if any of you guys know who that is, but she was kidnapped and then was one of the rare cases where she didn't end up getting killed, but actually escaped and returned home, blah, blah, blah. So she spoke at our conference that year, and it was very interesting, but I will say it was long. It was very, very, very long. And I remember sitting in the second row directly behind a group of leadership. And I guess I was always taught to be polite no matter the circumstance, to be patient no matter the circumstance. And so even though it went on for a really long time, my husband and I sat there and we behaved. We sat and we listened and we waited for it to be over, etc. But what I witnessed in that session, more than the speaker, is something that I have carried with me my entire journey with True Vision. And that is this: people are always watching you. They are always watching. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that although I was there and I was listening to what the speaker was saying on stage, my eyes was on the leadership the entire time. And what I saw was something that when I tell you guys it broke my heart, I'm not exaggerating, okay? What I saw was leadership rolling their eyes, making jokes, making comments amongst each other, walking out of the session proclaiming that this was ridiculous and taking too long and blah, blah, blah. And I was horrified. My heart literally broke. I walked out of that session when it was over, went to lunch with my husband, and cried the entire time, because what I thought of these people and what I thought of this situation had just come crumbling down. And I thought, I'm done. I truly, I'm not kidding you guys. I texted the people that I had gotten close with. I said, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you welcoming me, but I'm walking away. This is not for me. This is not how I want to present myself. This is not how I want to behave, and I'm going home. And I truly was ready to walk back to my hotel, pack my things up, and leave, because my heart was so broken by this picture that I had created. And I am so thankful every single day that the people that I loved, that are who they present themselves to be, did not allow me to leave that day. And it took a lot of love and a lot of squeezing and a lot of coming around and saying, you know, Allie, if you want to do different, then be different. If you want to set a different example, then do that. And I'm so glad that I stayed, because I am not at all exaggerating. I was 100% ready to walk away, because I thought, this is not me. This is not what I want. This is not how I behave. This is not okay to treat or talk to people that way. And I was just crushed. And so that has truly been one of the biggest lessons I think I've ever learned in my entire life. What I will tell you guys is that nobody goes into this, unless you've been in a position like this before, prepared for all eyes to be on you. But when you have even one single person there underneath you, or that knows who you are, they are watching you. They're watching everything. They're watching the way you dress. They're watching the way you talk to people. They're watching the way you interact with others. They're watching what you're doing when there's somebody standing on stage. They're watching every piece of it. And so what I want to encourage you guys from this, the lesson I want you to take from what I'm saying right now, is to be conscious. None of us are perfect. I have done things that I am embarrassed by. I have said things that I am embarrassed by. I have behaved in ways that do not represent me in the greatest light, but I will tell you that I am conscious all the time, and I'm trying. And that's all I'm saying. Act the way that you would act if you knew people were watching, okay? Because they are watching. Make them proud. Make them excited to be a part of what you're bringing to the table. Make them feel like you are their worthy leader, because you are, and you can be, and you want to be that. You don't want to be the drunk girl at the party that is acting a fool. You don't want to be the leader that's rolling her eyes and whispering in people's ears. On top of that, meet new people, make friends. Don't get me wrong. I am always so excited to see people that my best friends in the world are in this company, and you guys live on all different sides of the country and all different states. We all have lives. We don't get to see each other very often. But come here. Sorry, somebody unmuted themselves. I'm always excited to see those people, but try to meet new people. Go spend time with your team. Don't find yourself into some sort of little clique that you only spend your time with those people. Go find new people, whether it be a downline, a sideline. If you see people that are by themselves, scoop them up, invite them to lunch, invite them to dinner, because there are people that don't have support that will come to this, and they will be by themselves, and they may not know who their upline is, and their spouse doesn't support them, and they need us more than anybody else at that conference does, okay? So please be very conscious of who you're spending your time with. Actually, in Cozumel, Darren, obviously the people didn't know who my husband was, and they didn't know my name. But I spent the whole day at the pool with my team. We had an incredible time. We had some cocktails. We laughed. They gave me tequila and got to see how my shoulders break out when I drink it. And Sasha kept telling me I was getting sun poisoning. I'm like, it's the tequila. It'll go away. Just don't give me any more of it. Like, we had an incredible day. And my husband walked across the pool to go get drinks. And like I said, obviously nobody knew who he was. And he just overheard a conversation between some associates that said, you know, we've been here all day. Where are the leadership of this company? And somebody was like, well, they must be off in their own little cliques. And then somebody said, but not that blonde girl. She's been with her team all day. And obviously they didn't know who I was. They didn't know who my husband was, but they knew that I was a leader in this company that had spent the entire day at the pool with their team, and it mattered. So I'm not saying I ever do anything right. I'm just giving you guys an example of people watching, listening, and being very, very conscious of those things, okay? So that's my soapbox. That's my lesson for the day, something to be conscious and aware of. I hope that this has been something that you've learned a little bit of something from, and that you can share with your teams so that they don't make the mistakes. That's my only hope from telling you guys this story. It's not to bash any leader or previous leader. It's not to talk bad about anybody at all. My hopes is that you can learn from this like I did, so that they can do better, you can do better, and not make those same mistakes, so that you start out the gate as a leader 10 steps ahead of everybody else because you can act right, okay? So that is my soapbox for the day. Does anybody have any questions or comments or anything at all for me?
I was in the bath, so thanks for the info.
I don't know what that was, but I thought I heard somebody, but I can't see them.
You can't see me, but I was saying thank you. I listened to you while I was in the bathtub today.
That's so funny. Well, you're absolutely welcome. I love you guys, and I wanted to give you guys some tidbits today.
We appreciate them, especially the ones of us that are going for the first time. This is great information for me. So
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I hope, is that give you guys a little bit of a insight into that. Love you guys too. Oh, you're so sweet. Aw. Gonna play Scruples this year. Aww. Awesome. Well, I am excited to meet you guys as well. I'm excited to see those of you that I have met and squeeze your necks and hug you. I'm going to say this because it's just the truth. My team totally jokes around that I have RBF. I think we all know what that means, but I promise I am friendly. I do love you guys. It's just my face. So please come say hello, come introduce yourself to me, come give me a hug, because I'm a hugger. I want to hug you. My husband, if you see him around, speak to him. He's so friendly and awesome and incredible and loves people, and if you want to have a conversation for like a whole hour, he'll stand there and talk to you. So any of the leadership, I know I can say without a shadow of a doubt, Melissa, Alicia, Amanda, if you see any of us walking around, please grab us, say hello, introduce yourselves. We want to get to know you. So that being said, guys, thank you for spending the last about 45 minutes with me. I'll get this recording out if any of you guys would like to share at all with your team members and downline that are going to be attending or attending any event. This is good information for any event that you may be seen at. So thank you guys and have an incredible day, and I can't wait to see you on Wednesday. Love you.